Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to part 7. Can you believe it? Part 7. Now, I've gone ahead and I've done a lot of the journal cards, but I thought let's go through and just add some zhuzhing. That's a technical term. Hope you had a good weekend. I'll just sit myself down. I've had my second cup of coffee, so I should be hopefully working on all 4 cylinders. Okay. Right, so I was just going to put on some, I've just put this down on here and let's pop that in there. Yeah, my thought process now is to just add a little bit of bling, but maybe not too much bling. So you might remember we had the crochet bit down here on this one. Let's just do a little flip through, shall we? I have added a bit of velvet, pretty blue velvet trim to this journal card. You might remember that this is number 7 envelope. We added an extra one. Would I do it again? I don't think so. I had different papers on the top and I split the side, but somehow along the way I had closed up the envelope on the inside, so then I had to seal that and think about it. What was I going to do? You know, it's all about solving problems, isn't it? So I thought, right, I can put a vellum pocket on the inside here, which I've just made a nice little skinny tag to slip into there. But I mean, would I do it again? Probably not. But you know, you have to go with it. I think the 6 envelopes, the original idea, is quite sufficient, really. But anyway, it is nice. It is nice. Okay, so I've just added a bit of that. You can tell there's been 3 different changes. Picture there, but it just brings the eye up, doesn't it? Because it looks like it's all coming stepped in. So yeah, that turned out okay. And this was the pocket underneath it, and that's just a Ruby and Pearl collage page. You might think, well, Di, you're a bit lazy, but it's collaged beautifully. This is what they're there for, aren't they? That's what I'm telling myself anyway. We open that out, and that is just the swan. I love the swans, and I've put a date there, 1826, which I like. A bit of numbers here and there. A nice lady, a little bit of the blue. Let's talk about the colouring of this journal, because it's not turned out exactly how it's had a life of its own. I chose this seam binding only because it was the biggest amount I have. I've got more coming in the mail today. But if you put green next to it, it looks blue. And if you put blue next to it, well, that looks blue there, but some of the ones in some light, it almost looks green. It's obviously a greeny blue. So it turned out to be a bit tricky, which is why I've gone for the steely grey, bluey colours papers. As you might see there, that looks a bit odd, that bright blue. Yeah, so the seam binding, you know, probably would have been better neutral. But I sort of thought, oh, this would be inspirational. I feel like a blue journal. I don't think this is actually a blue journal, but nevertheless, it's got. See, so I've done really greens and blues. I guess it's green and blue. That's almost a green, isn't it? It's a gorgeous colour, like a teal, greeny blue. That's a nice colour. That's a grey, sort of a blue. Then again, it depends on your printer too, doesn't it? Journaling space on the back. I love that image. See, that's a different blue again. See what I mean? Tricky. This one, I've covered up a lot of this blue paper, and I made this, I don't know whether we did that together, I think we might have in the last one, where I made a tag with a file folder top and put it on this side so that I can have 1, 2 and what appears to be a third one, and that is basically undecorated, so you could journal on both sides of that. Yes, I'll put that back later. And then the nice doily on the bottom there, which is really nice. Here I've done a pocket or a tuck spot. It's more of a tuck spot so that you put something a bit bulky in there. And I've just done a nice seaside reproduction picture. And I've just put a little scrap in there because it had the writing on there, which looks really nice. Okay, now we've got a pocket here. Did we do this one? Yes, we did, I think. Just an old image. Actually, I was going to do something with that, like maybe paint over the top of it, but I haven't got round to that. And a nice big journal card in there. And then more of the blues. And then this one, I changed the back of that one too to that steely blue, so that when it's all close together, I liked the navy and the darker blue there. Yeah, so a little bit of rehashing throughout. Nice big journal card to go in there. Now on this side, there was that beautiful big blue floral, and I had a ruby and pearl little picture, and so I've just added a top and a bottom to that, and I've made it into a belly band, and then just put a reproduction old letter in so it just sits there. This is one of my favourite images, that's from the Seaside kit. I did a journal once using it. Just reminds me of my grandmother Nell, who told me that she used to fish with a pin, just an ordinary pin, but she'd bend it, and I was in awe. And she'd say the little fish would just jump on the pin, and that was in the Great Depression, and that looks to me to be the era of about the 1920s. So it reminds me of my grandmother. And I love the way that digital, remember how we said all the scrolling around it, that blue, that really is nice. And then this journal card, I've got a cottage on that one, and that just slides in. So that is the journal. Oh yes, I was going to finish off the top of this because I added a little bit of a pretty gold spotted ribbon there, just to lift the eye. And I always like things in threes, so I thought one there just balances it up to my eye. So I'll glue that on in a minute, and then we can tie this up. Glue that on in a minute, and I think that looks lovely. I'm happy with the way that's all tied together. And then on the back, I have gone ahead and I have just covered the inside page. I've not decided on a pocket for there, but I've sewn in the three with the one signature, sorry, with 20 pages. And now we come to today's job. And I've been thinking about this, whether to do a waterfall journal in the middle. I mean, there's a couple of different things we could do. We could do a ribbon underneath. Where's that bit of seam binding I had earlier? It was floating around here somewhere. I tidied up. Now I can't find anything. Anyway, we could put a bit of seam binding underneath these. The other thing, yeah, to tidy them all up, but they'll be glued down, and then this will be to shut them. So I thought what we could do is how are we going to orchestrate this? This is very, very flimsy. You know what I should have done? I wish now I had. I wished I'd done it with another piece of file folder actually, but haven't. So I don't mind that nice green colour. Now we can do larger envelopes. We can do a stacked notepad too. Underneath, we could do like just a stacked writing lot of papers there, which look better than this. This is just something I cobbled together last night. I should have thought this through before. I suppose I turned it on, turned the camera on. But so we could have a hidden note, a secret writing place under here, and perhaps on the top of here we can have we can glue each, just have 3 instead of having an awful lot, just have 3 on the top. I've done them a long time ago where I used the same image. I just photocopied the same image and then graduated it down and joined it really cleverly, well not cleverly, but really, what do I want to say, precisely, so that it looks like the one image, which would be nice. So that way it's doing double duty. So we've got the flips, the waterfall envelope, and then underneath it the waterfall notepad. Right, so I might turn the camera off and choose some papers. So I had this lovely long envelope here too, and I thought, what can I do with that? And I thought, oh, I could cover that with that. I should probably coffee dye these little envelopes. That's what I probably should do. That would be a lot easier. Alright, well I'll make that executive decision and I'll be right back. I'll just, and hopefully I'll remember to turn you back on. See you in a minute. Right, I'm back. I remembered to turn back on. And I was thinking, why don't I get a big piece of book page, cover that with book page, because that will strengthen it. And I've gone away and I've done, I've coffee dyed some little envelopes. space them out, I think. And so when they're opened, you'll be able to slide something in there, which is cool. And then that'll just be a pretty picture of some sort. Maybe a botanical. Yeah, a botanical picture would be nice. And then we'll have to do something with this under here. So we could cut the flaps off, but I mean I like the surface area of the triangle because it gives it more stability. If we cut it off there, I think they should be glued down, because then we could even put a pocket underneath. So there'd be a pocket in here and something here as well, like secret writing space, so that when you lift that up, you've not only got a pocket, but you can jot whatever you want down here, some nice quotes or whatever. I think that might be the go. Right. Okay, first things first, let's get some vintage photo, and we'll come around this here. Age that up. There's the postman. Oh. Okay, how exciting! By this way, by just having it the book page, it's making the little flips, the envelope flips, the hero. And it's giving this a little bit of stability. Just go around this. Okay, let's get this down. It's another 30-degree day here. It's beautiful. Our spring. Just so nice and warm. And the nights have been cold. Oh, if it was like that all year round, that would just be my idea of heaven. Warm days. Good for the arthritis. And nice cool nights so you can get a better sleep. Even under the air conditioning. It's wonderful to have it. It's not the same though as that natural cool breeze at night. We're certainly going through these old book pages, which is fantastic. I'm really loving this. I might have to stand up so that I get this on reasonably straight. Of course, it's not perfection. I think it looks more vintage if it's not. Whoops. Okay. And then there'll be a peekaboo underneath. That'd be good. Wonder what I could do as a closure here. That'll be good. That'll be an interesting exercise, actually. Why don't we can figure that out together. Okay, right, so there's that. All my cushions hit the ground. I've got to have lots of cushions, otherwise I can't sit for long. It's horrible to be old, isn't it? Okay, old age is not for sissies. Right. Okay, right. I'm just going to basically eyeball that. Right. Okay, now I won't make the same mistake again. I think I shall ink. These are an adorable little envelope. I don't know if you can buy them that little anymore. I bought something off Facebook Marketplace. I think it was, I don't know what it was now, but it was a bundle of old stuff, and it came with these pack of little envelopes, and the lady said, "Oh, hope you don't mind me throwing these in." I felt like saying to her, "Darling, that's gold. That's it's worth more than all of the other things thrown together." I was like, "Oh no, that they're cute." But yeah, what a lucky find. I love everything inked up. It just gives it that frame. Every good piece of art has a frame. I reckon. Now, a lovely viewer too. Yesterday I was complaining about that circle punch not being great for a tab, and a very, very wonderful lady. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I can't look up your name now to give you credit. But she said, try a small oval punch, and I thought, yeah, I don't own one, but I'll be certainly on the lookout for one now. What a great idea! So thank you so much. It was brilliant. I don't know why it never occurred to me, but it's like everything, isn't it? We always go, why didn't I think of that? So I might, when I go next to Spotlight, they might have a small oval punch. I'll put it out there in the universe, I will. It'll happen. Alright, stop talking, Diane. Get this one down, I think about here. Does that look even? Oh, guess what it is now. Right. Yeah, see that line down there? That looks awful. Just needs to get that. The print on it's a lot darker to the print behind. So it's now it's not hiding, is it? Silly Diane. Put the darker one on the bottom. Alright. much more surface area. Okay, now probably there. You don't get much opportunity with dark glitter glue to wiggle. Now this one, oops. Yeah, so if you can't find these little envelopes, you can make your own. There's some to make a little envelope template. Okay, so I did that about 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. So if I stick it about there, that should be right. And of course envelopes aren't always square either. Okay, so there we have our flip, 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 and you can get in easily to each one. I've got some lovely little inspirational cards that I can pop in there from Ruby and Pearl. So that's, I'll just put some nice little inspiration cards in there. Now, you see what's oh yeah, you see what's happened there. I was going to put some string underneath all of those and then tie them down to stop them flapping. Well, what to do? I could easily affix a string here and affix a string here and then just tie them up. Do we want them tied at all? Do they need being tied? Probably not. I mean, the journal pages are going to keep them in. And then this was the one that we were going to tie too. So you can't have too many ties. Or can you? I really like that. Okay, now do we choose an image now or later? Actually, I'm just going to put this down here. Oh, it's hard to tell the front and the back. I think this will be the back because it's got a spot on it. So I'll just pause you because that might take a few seconds. Right. That way I won't forget to do that. So all it's got to do is dry. Okay, happy with that. I just distracted myself, didn't I? But anyway, I just needed to do it. Okay, so back to this one. Isn't that pretty? And with all this paper around me, it now looks like I've just got to photocopy what I've got in mind. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've decided on this image from Creme Brulee, Ruby and Pearl, and I'm printing it out three copies of the exact same print. And so what I'm going to do is tear them out all exactly to size to fit those 3 envelopes. I don't know whether I'll use this image. I think I'd like to use, as you see, what we're going to do is we're going to cut one there and then one there and one there. So the other 2 will be boring with just that. So this one, if you see what I mean, so that we'll see a bit of leaf on that one, bit of leaf and flower on that one, the rest of the flower on that one. So, oh, that is so cool. So when the others are finished printing out, I'm going to get them all to size, and then we're going to do the envelopes. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, we're back. We actually have 3 copies of the same image, and I've torn them all, hopefully exactly the same. Luckily there was the frame to go on, so that's choose an image where you can gauge it. Right, so we'll line that up with that side. Hopefully they're all exactly the same, and then we're going to tear it off here. Okay. Right, save that for later. Oh, look at that, we've got one done. Right, so we're going to chop him off here. Just line your ruler up with the edge of the very first envelope. Just have it right up at the, maybe have it right up at the top. Centered as much as we can. Then take it, don't hold your breath. Put your ruler on, so you can see the edge of the first envelope just there. Okay. Be brave. Okay, so we have 1. Now we could see how, oh yeah, hang on, yeah, actually we could probably continue to use that on one image there, but it won't be exact. That's where you need the 3 copies. Then you take the other copy, okay, and then we're going to breathe, breathe. Go like that. We're going to put that one there, and then we're going to slip that one in there. Just go to, oh, okay. Where do we want to go to? Actually, why don't I just use this? Hello. Up there for thinking. Oh, lordy. All right. So then we're just going to splice that exactly there. No, we're not. Are we? What are we doing? We want this part. Yeah, so it's got to go there, hasn't it? Oh, okay. Be brave. All right, so we've got 1. Then we've got, yeah, see, I've ballsed it up. Or have I? No, I haven't. Oh, that's a miracle. That's a miracle. You see what we're doing now? Okay. Okay, so maybe what I might do, breathe, breathe. This is nerve-wracking stuff. It's like brain surgery. Oh. Now, That's going to look amazing. And yes, I am going to just gently go to take the white off there. I am. And I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to have to turn on my cold air conditioning actually. I better do that. Hang on. Right, I was working up a little bit of a sweat there. Oh, so the first one is down. Now I'm not going to glue the second one until I chop him off. Right. So this one should go, hang on, let me just, I shall just go down here like so. And I'll put that there. Right, I'll make sure that the image marries up. How does that look on camera? So that's, where am I? That's about it. Which, yeah, right at the top basically. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's good. That'll be right at the top. Now I'm going to splice it off at the bottom, holding that firmly in place. I'm going to put my ruler right on the edge of number 2 middle envelope. Hopefully getting it as straight as I can. Okay. And done. Right. And then, so we only did need in the finish, we actually only needed 2 photocopies, so that's handy to know. Okay, so I'm just going to take the white edge off this a little bit, not too dark. The sides can be dark. Right. Okay, so now this one will go in here. Yeah, hello. I keep forgetting, don't I? Put this one on top of this. Then you can't go wrong. Exactly. And then we're just going to chop this one off. You can see how I've just got to keep stopping and thinking about it because I don't want to make a boo-boo. Okay, so then that one will go down there, like that. And then this one will come here like that. But why isn't it now? Yeah, we are going to need that third image just to get that little bit extra. But then again, I could put something nice down here, bit of trim. Yes, let's do it. Is it going to work? Hang on. Think about it, Di. No. No, we are going to need the third one. Yep. We are. So we're going to get the right width. Breathe. I've got to remember to breathe. Breathe, breathe. Okay, so okay, you see how it's right. So should I glue that one down yet? No. No, we're going to have to find exactly where that is. That's just the tip there. Right. Then we're going to open that up. And I'm going to chop him off at the top of this one, whereas the other ones we've used the bottom. So this one we're going to just chop him off there at the top. I tell you what, I am very challenged when it comes to things like this. But if I just stop and think, yep. There we have, ta-da! That looks amazing. Okay, well I'm going to stick this down and have lunch and be right back. Ta-da! All glued down, looking amazing. Now we have to just figure out what we're going to do behind here. You see how the sticky's still on these envelopes, so I'm going to have to do something with this. I wonder. No, I was just going to say, oh, we could do the same here and put this other image on the back, but can you imagine how difficult it'd be going around each V and it'd chop, no. That is for the very game, those of you who are really game. But yeah, we need to figure that out. Anyway, this time I'm going to go and have lunch and I'll think about this and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've had my big bowl of cold yogurt for lunch. I just couldn't come at hot soup. Okay. Now, remember the 3 offcuts that we had from that image? Why don't, they'll make beautiful writing papers, so why don't I put them under here and just cut them to fit in here, which will hide that envelope flap, and some of those flaps are still a bit sticky, so that'll be good to get rid of that. I just have to get them all narrow enough. Okay. Because we don't want them seen. I reckon that's probably the go. That's good. That's good. Okay, so let's ink these. Nice and fast. I'm loving how this is turning out. Loving it. And then if we can, just before the battery runs out on my poor little phone, I'm hoping that we might be able to get the waterfall notepad underneath accomplished as well. There's always part 8. Oh, it might be. And then I shall get on to the request from Willie to do a spine in the folio, and Linda was telling me she's going to do a shabby chic one, Linda Dow. She does amazing work and she's been such a support over the years. She's a lovely, lovely lady. So thank you, Linda, for all your support. I mean, as has so many other subscribers. But yeah, Linda was saying she's doing a shabby chic one next, and then she's going to reinforce it with her spine with fabric. And I thought, yes, well, let's do that too, because that adds a lovely dimension. So we'll talk about that. Okay, so I reckon if I just, I mean, this is pale enough to be able to write over, and if the owner does not want to write over it, well, they don't have to, do they? It'll still look pretty. Okay, that looks incredible. And this time we're only going to be using up the one piece of paper instead of 3. But what a good way, I think, what a good way to do it. And then this one here at the bottom. Will that be the right length? Look at that, absolutely perfect. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? And of course you're thinking too, well this then could have, instead of writing space, you could make that into a side little pocket here too. But I think writing space is probably the way to go, because if you turn it into a pocket, it's for a journal card, which is writing space anywho. So, what do they say? Swings and roundabouts. Something like that. So just pop that up level with the fold. And that, whoops, that covers that perfectly. It's amazing how it all comes together, isn't it? And then I did, while I was having my yogurt, I said it is brain food, I thought, there is an idea for a closure, which I haven't really, I don't think I've done before. I've done some pretty far out closures over my journal time, but I can't remember doing it like that. My necklace closure, I'm going to call it. I don't know whether I'll use it or not, but I thought that's a good idea. And I may as well just mention it. And then someone will go, oh, I've seen that years ago. I don't think there is any new ideas. I mean, how many crafters, how many paper crafters in the world must there be? Billions, I'm guessing. And so things would have been done a long... Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh, doesn't that look amazing? What do you think? I can hear you all going, oh, ooh. Now that is sweet. That is sweet. Okay, wow. I'm loving that. I am loving that. Okay. Now they're all glued onto the top, which makes it even more sturdy. We lift this up. That's the back side of it, which was the back side of the scrapbook paper I used, which I don't mind. But to make that even stiffer, what I could do, yeah, see, they're going to need to be held down. What I could do is back that with paper too, but not before we work out the closure, because the closure might have to be hidden underneath the paper. Okay, so let's have a look at the waterfall scrappy bit. Now, the shout out for this, I saw Heather from Rosehill Paper Cottage. Now, she's one of the designers on Ruby and Pearl, and she comes up with the most amazing stuff, really. She's just incredible. And Heather, if you ever watch this, I've got to say, I just love your style so much. And I have tried to copy. And do you think I can get it anywhere near how yours looks? No, I can't. So obviously I'm not a very good counterfeiter. But if I could copy what you do, but anyway, I'm going to follow this tutorial that you did, and I'll try and link it in the description below. But if you go to Rosehill Paper Cottage, if you haven't heard of Heather, please go check her out, because she does the most amazing things. Now this looks weird because it was just a prototype, so I'm going to chuck that away. And I printed out where did I print it? Oh yeah, this one. I did a double-sided. Where's the other one? There are two, because it was one piece of paper that I just did in half. Hello? Good Christmas. Where on earth is it on the floor? No. Seriously? How is that even possible? I think those little gremlins have been here at my desk. Where on earth? That means if I can't find it, that means I've got to print out again. I don't want to print out again. Seriously. I'm wasting battery and I'm wasting time. And I hate that. Oh, Lord. Well. Right, and of course I can't edit to go back, and that's not double-sided printed. I can't believe that. Wow. Okay. Well. Anyway, what it was two pieces of paper the same width, and of course these aren't now. And she just put it like this so that one, I'll flip that over so that you can see it better. She just straddled it like that, and then she folded it. No, she must have straddled it like that. And then she folded it like that. Yeah, see, they need to be longer. Seriously. Oh, okay. I give up. It's not even me. I don't know where it's gone. I just took the garbage out. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't have, surely. Okay, I'm just going to have to stop the camera because you don't want to be listening to this. Hang on. I'm back. The gremlins had put it for safekeeping, apparently, underneath my paperweight, hidden. I can't believe it. It's just incredible, isn't it? Anyway, so what Heather did from Rosehill, she got 2 pieces of paper. I've double-sided them for ease. And now, which way did she go? This way? I'll just do it this way. And then she just folded them over like so. Now, doesn't that look attractive? Actually, that's about the right height. And that was it. So you've got pretty papers which you can write on, which will be hidden underneath here. Now, isn't that pretty? That is so adorable. And then that will, and it's thin enough that it's not going to add too much bulk. And that's the printer, because I gave it another 2 pieces of paper in my frustration. Take a big deep breath. I'm just so loving this. Wow. Okay, that is incredible. All right, so that was all she did. She took she had 2 pieces of paper. Well, actually it was one, double-sided, and she split it down the middle. And then she just staggered them a bit and then folded it like that. Just play around with it until you get it right. And that's quite pretty. And I mean, you could write on that, write on that, write on that, and flip it all up. And of course you'd probably glue down, oh actually, you know what we could do? Instead of gluing this down, wouldn't it be nice to be able to take it out and put a fresh one in when that was used? If we did a belly band up here, then we can just slip it under the belly band. Oh, lordy. Don't you love it? Okay, right, so I'm going to just save a little bit of battery power and my sanity. I'm going to I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to ink around and find something to use for a belly band. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I found a piece of vellum that was off those pockets we did the other day. And so I'm just determining now, I want that completely hidden. So that would be completely hidden there. So that's where I want it. So to put the belly band, will have to be completely hidden too. We can just put it here and here. And then the pages can slip up and then you can just slide them out. Wow. This is all coming together so good. Okay, so let's cut this off, rip it off. I chose vellum because I thought it might be stronger than paper. Okay. I was going to take my sewing machine and stitch across the top of the join, like I was going to take the sewing machine and stitch it from here to here, but I thought, why bother? They're only pieces of paper, and you might have your own, whoever buys it or gets given it or whatever, they might have their own ideas, those shopping lists or something. Okay, just make sure. Okay, come down just a tad. Yep. Okay, good. Okay, so while holding that firmly in place, I'm going to put a little bead of glue along here and one along here. And now I've moved everything. Oh, it's hard to get good help, isn't it? by doing it that way, it's going to ensure that it's loose enough to just slip those out. Wow, that's really great. So we've got a waterfall pockets here, and we've got a flip to reveal waterfall notepad here, which is really, really pretty. I love those rose petals. Isn't that gorgeous? And you can do any paper that you want. I think double-sided is the way to go. And the only comment I would have is get non-directional. So those roses would look good upside down, back to front, whatever. Choose non-directional papers and some sort of plainish, I guess, so that you can write over that. Now the all-important closure. This will hold this down, obviously, but this needs to be held down. And the idea I thought of, which may or may not work, was something that I could attach from here that would come down here and maybe have a heavy drop on it, like a necklace. I mean, you could, if I could fashion it, tie it up here, that would be even better, or put a magnet in behind. I could sandwich a little magnet in behind and then have it magnetized. Either that or just some string. Do I have any string? That's a good question. Let's see. There's the rest of this seam binding. I was going to pick up some of that twine that you see, like a cooking. Oh, it's not cooking, but it's like a baker's twine, I think they call it. You get like red stripe and blue stripe and black stripe. Last time I was in oh, it's gone over an hour now. Oh, I better hurry up and wrap this up. Okay, let's see. How could we do this? Oh, isn't... Oh, well, actually, look at that. Just one... Oh, now how would this work? Wouldn't that have been nice as a big X? But they're flip-ups. Wouldn't that have been nice for the right situation? I mean, obviously you've got to be able to lift these up and you've got to be able to undo this. I suppose you could have individual where you just slip them up out of it. That's crazy. The best idea would be to run something down. Something that you could then undo and lift up. That's where string would be good. It would be light and it wouldn't take away from the image. Oh, Lordy. Well, the only thing for it is to, I'm just looking at my bag of tricks. I've got some, what have I got here? I think string. Actually, I've got something like that, a tape. How would I secure the tape at the bottom? That's really, I like that actually. Hey, that's really groovy. It's groovy even if that's showing my age. Unless I put something heavy on this, which would would weight it like I've got a brooch. I've got a brooch. That's interesting. Let's see what that might look like. I usually use things like those metal corners, book corners too. They're nice. I mean, then that would just sort of swing there, wouldn't it? Go swing in the wind. However, I like it. I really like it. That's cute. I could do some kind of maybe I could put an eye in the bottom of it, and then just do a circle and then just tie it round. Well, I wonder, actually I've got plenty of embroidery thread and wool and things like that. Alright, well look, I'm just going to cut that off so that I can continue to mull over that. But it's the right colouring, it's the right vintage. So that's an interesting idea, if I can just work out the clip. Well, you know what? I'd have to put the journal cards in to see how much heavier and bulkier that would be. But then you could use an old-fashioned press stud. Now I've got some of those somewhere. And to put it in the paper and press it down. Maybe still have the brooch and put a press stud here. That'd be cool. And then just unclip it, put it to the side. And you could always take the brooch out if you didn't like it. That is really groovy. Alright, so shall I put you on hold again? I better stop this because it's going to be bigger than Ben-Hur. Hang on. Actually, I've just come up with another idea. I don't know how good this idea is, but I got this. It's a slide for hair. The only trouble is it's curved. Had that been straight, that would have been better. But what's the go if I just slipped it over like that? That's silly. But it's not too silly. Well, hello, Di. What about a big paper clip? That could work. That could work. Just a pretty paper clip. I don't think that's long enough. And that only secures the bottom one. But then again, I suppose you could have one securing. Oh yeah, hello. But then that doesn't hide the back, it just keeps them closed. But that's an option. That doesn't look half bad, does it? And then they're sort of floating in the wind. Well, actually, why not put a paper clip up here as well? Yeah, that's solved that problem. Lots and lots of paper clips. That is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But then it's still flippy floppy down the bottom. It still needs something. Just a longer paper clip. Oh, here's one I prepared earlier. This is the one I've. Remember when junk journals first started and everything, and we were curling up the ends of the paper clip? does keep it closed, but I don't, yeah, I'm not happy with it. I mean, it's one thing for those. I love the rose gold. I try and use them all the time now. But we need something. And then we could do without the paper clips. But I'll include those with the journal because you can always take them off. I still think string. I've just got to find the string. Okay, I just remembered that in a lot of really old journals and things, they often used wool for a lot of things. I remember my mother used to use wool even tying up Christmas ornaments on the Christmas tree. So we could always hide that with a bow. We could bring that down here. Then we could have one coming up from underneath, hidden under here perhaps. So we've got one coming up from there, and then we'll have one coming down from here, and then we can just tie them in the middle. I think that's really good. I like that. The only thing is we'll have to hide it on the back, but that's all right. We can put something pretty down there. Right. Okay. Let's do it. I don't think we're going to need... That'll have to be really secured up there. Really secured. What a shame I hadn't thought of it before I glued that down, because wouldn't that have been smart? But maybe maybe this is helpful for somebody who goes, yeah, okay, that's what not to do. I'll just... Where's my trusty? Once again, the paperweight to the rescue. I'm trying to get a line over it and under it. Obviously we'll have to secure it with something else as well. If we can just get that ingrained into the paper. Thank goodness it dries clear. You see how that was able to be squished down? Yeah, certainly making it look rustic, Di. Doing a great job, girl. What not to do? I guess I'm just so excited. I want to see it done. And what did I just say to Willie the other day? Don't rush it, don't be in a rush. Okay, so we just cut that off there. And then we secure this down here somehow. Actually, maybe the Tim Holtz tape. It's a nice fabric tape. Why not? Maybe by the time I've made... Oh, well. Maybe by the time I've made another couple, I'll get it all done properly. Okay. So perhaps like so. Of course that's going to have to be covered because like that doesn't look silly, does it? No. And then Don't know that I'm all that happy with this, really. But I guess it is what it is. At least that's doing the job. So I guess that'll be artist's choice. When you come to do yours, make sure that you put the top underneath the first envelope. And I think that's just secured that down really sweet. And then I'll cover this with a nice bow or something going across, actually, to give it extra stability. There's so many choices. Well, I think we're going to leave that there for today. And I'm calling a done. I think there's no pocket here, but with all that going on the back, I don't think we're going to. But you could. You run with this. Tag me in your makes, please. I'd love to see your much more thoughtful process and exactly how you've have you added any extra envelopes? Did you think it needed it? Yeah, I can't wait to see your creativity. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back with part 8 of a file folder with a spine next, and we'll just keep on having fun. Thank you. See ya. Oh, please click that subscribe button and join our fun and nonsense, and leave me comments and, do all the stuff, Anyway.